partners. This is Roadhouse Rodney coming at you from the Saddleback Ranch in Fort Worth, Texas. And today, what I want to talk about... Alright, as you can see, still Dalton. What I want to talk about today is actually related to this cowboy hat, which is awesome. Which this video is dedicated now to my good friend from high school, Austin McGee, for giving me the idea. So shout out to him. But this actually goes along with what I want to talk about today, which is not being too attached to one identity. A lot of times when people is wanting to kind of branch out and go after different things that they want, a lot of what holds them back is they're like, well, they envision kind of what they want, but then they're like, well, that's just not me. Or what you have to do to go get that is just, it's not me, it's not who I am, it's not what I'm used to doing. But the reality is, and the reality that I have to remind myself of, and the reality that I want y'all to understand is, there's no one mode of being for any single person. It is true that we all each have our individual core personalities, but those personalities can be manifested in so many different ways. I'm sure you can, I know for me, I can think back to times when I look back, and let's say a lot of times I tend to be quiet in certain situations. But I've seen myself in other situations, like when I went swing dancing in the past, I get in this very social mood where I'm just like talking to everybody, just very open, very expressive. And I look back on those times and I'm thinking, man, that's so different than what I was used to. Like, who was that person? But the reality is that was still me. It was still my core personality operating. All it was in a different context, and it manifested itself in a different way. But what happens to a lot of people is they'll confuse the personality with the way that the personality manifests itself, and they'll think that their personality can only be manifested in one particular way. And a big excuse that people use, like for example, I'll just use a personal goal of mine, is to push myself to be more social with people, and to feel more comfortable expressing myself in front of other people. That's just a personal goal of mine. And in this area, one excuse that comes up a lot is people will say, well, I just can't do that because I'm an introvert. Well, the only thing an introvert means is that it has nothing to do with how well you can communicate with other people. And it has nothing to do with how high energy you are. All it has to do is introvert versus extrovert. The only difference is how you gain your energy. Do you gain energy from being by yourself, or do you gain energy from being with other people? That's the only difference. And so there's really no correlation between how it affects your communication or the way you behave in front of other people. So quit using that as an excuse, because I know I've used it as an excuse myself. And this applies to anything you want to do. So if a goal that you have, or if you want to go do a certain thing, and you're like, well, I think that would be cool, but I would kind of have to act in a different way than what I'm used to, well, then try that on. And maybe if you do try it out, maybe it is just so out there that you're not comfortable with it right now. Or maybe it is actually different than your core personality. And if that's the case and you don't enjoy it, then that's fine, but at least you went out and tried it. But a lot of times what you'll find is that you actually do enjoy it, and you're so much more flexible in the way you can behave than what you realize. And we do this naturally, by the way. We do this when we're around. Hope you enjoyed the nice song from Alan Jackson there. And we do this around just in our daily lives naturally. For example, you're a different person on some level with your parents than you are with your friends. You're different around your grandparents than you are with the people you date. It's just these different personalities, or these different, not personalities, but different identities and modes of behaving. We can naturally shift between these two. So we're already doing what I'm talking about. So it's nothing new you're going to have to do. It's just you're going to have to now take that and apply it to the goals that you have that you haven't yet went out and done. And so really what I wanted to do in this video is just to remind y'all of that reality, that you are not just one specific mode of behaving. You are capable of behaving in many different ways at many different times in many different cases. and your personality can manifest itself in so many different ways, and your mind is very flexible and can allow you to do that. And so if you envision yourself wanting to go do something that's a little bit out of your comfort zone, that's good, because that's going to cause you to grow. And if you go out and you do it and you like it, and maybe it calls you to do something you're not used to doing, then you've brought in another thing into your life that you actually enjoy. And if you go out and try it and you don't like it, that's fine too. You learned that you didn't like it, and so now you can put your energy and efforts towards something else. And so either way you go, it's still a growing opportunity. And that's what I wanted to get across, is that there is no specific identity for each specific person. We can take on many different behaviors and many different roles, if only we'll allow ourselves to feel uncomfortable for a little while, and that's really all it takes. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it made sense, and I know you all enjoyed the cowboy hat. I'll probably be putting out another video in a couple of days. I just want to do videos whenever I kind of think about stuff, but I also want to do it, within a consistent time frame, to kind of keep things consistent and all that. So anyhow, leave any comments, questions, concerns, snide remarks in the comments section below. Subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for the next one. Thank you.